Hey, it's your girl, Emily Curl with iHeartRadio, and today we're going to do a track by track with SHAED on their debut album, High Dive. We have Chelsea, Spencer, and Max here with us. First off, hi guys, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So good to see you again.
Yeah.
So nice to see y'all. I'm excited to talk about this album. Tell me a little bit, before we dive into the specific tracks, what was the process like of creating this one?
Well, right before the pandemic hit, we had an album's worth of music, and then everything shut down, and we had a second to kind of look at what we had, and we just realized that it wasn't really telling our story anymore. So we kind of used 2020 to write an entire new album, which was very scary, but also very freeing, I would say.
I have a few theories of some themes that you're exploring in this album, but I'm curious for you, for all of you, what were you sort of hoping, your audience took away from it? What themes were you exploring?
So really, I think the big thing for us was, as we were starting this album, we had this breakthrough where we really tried to be honest with how we were feeling. I think at the beginning of the pandemic, we were very stressed and, just trying to write songs that weren't really tapping into our, anxieties and fears. And I think the breakthrough was when we really leaned into our emotions and just tried to be really honest. So I think for our fans, this album is like a snapshot of 2020 for us, and us just exploring how we're feeling and sort of the experiences that we've had that have really changed our dynamic and our lives. So
now I feel like with any album, the track list is so important, and where you order things is so important. So let's start with Dizzy. One of my favorites on the album, I'll say. How did you know that you wanted to kick it off with this one?
We like Dizzy because, I don't know, I feel like it kind of describes us at the very beginning of the pandemic. We were relying a little bit too much on alcohol at the end of the day, and it was just like...
Were we all? Oh my God.
I got dizzy drinking whiskey by myself, and really, we were drinking a lot of whiskey, and we were feeling super isolated, so...
Yeah.
So then we go on to track number 2. So Osaka, I have a lot of questions about this one because I feel like, well, tell me the basic. What was inspired by this song?
So Osaka was inspired by our trip to Japan in 2019. We just were on a total high over there. Trampoline was having, incredible success. We were playing 2 huge festivals that thousands of people were singing Trampoline, and it was such a cool thing. So I think that Osaka is just kind of like about our confidence in Japan and, kind of coming back, feeling like on top of the world.
Yeah, when you think about that trip, what was the big takeaway that really inspired it? I mean, enough to write a song, that's big.
Oh my gosh, we just fell in love with Japan, more so than we thought we would. I mean, just the food, the culture, the people, the landscape, it just was so incredible and so...
amazing.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I love about this one too is the music production of it. Tell me a little bit about what went into this one.
Well, we got to collaborate with Josh Fountain, who's an amazing producer. He's produced all the Benny stuff. And so Max and I produced out the track with Chelsea, and we're like, we really want this song to pop. We wanted to, we also felt like it had sort of a bit of a reggae feel, and we're like, who can really crush this track? And all of the Benny music has both of those things, has really good grooves and just incredible sound. So we got to work with him on it. And I think what sent the track over the top was at the end of the song, we incorporated real strings on the record. Yes, and actual trumpets and horns and stuff like that. So
it gave it a big anthemic feel at the end of the song we were looking for.
Speaking of collaborating with people, let's go to track 3, Part-Time Psycho with 2 Feet. We just worked with 2 Feet, and he is so sick. So I loved this collab. Tell me a little bit about how you two, originally linked up, how the song came about.
I think we just were fans of his music. We kind of flirted with the idea of collaborating together a few years ago, and then the song just ended up not kind of we were on tour and we weren't able to link up then, but we felt like this song had a cool 2 Feet energy to it, especially with the electric guitar, and we just reached out to him and he was down, and he laid down his signature guitar solo, guitar sound, and his cool sub moog bass sounds in there. So it was the perfect collab. He was so fun to work with. we did it all over Zoom, or like all over just sending stuff back and forth and like Zooming and talking about the track. So.
And he has just like an awesome voice too. That like I feel like his tone with Chelsea just was so money.
Chelsea, I also love your little high in there. It's such a good addition.
Thank you so much. It's funny because I did like 30 of those when we were recording. So there's all these different highs and they're all like really weird. It's like, hi. And it's like, so there's so many versions of the high that we need to post somewhere because they're just hilarious.
You should, we need that. All right, so let's go on to track number 4, High Dive. Obviously, this is a big one. Now, I like that you are exploring like the different water themes too. Is there a particular reason why that you wanted to, call the album High Dive? This song is obviously important. Tell me a little bit about it.
So the metaphor for, jumping off a high dive, taking a leap of faith, that kind of just encapsulates the whole feeling and the reason why we made this album. We had been touring for 2 years, putting together these songs on the road, which was kind of created a really kind of fragmented collection of songs, working with different producers and everything. And when Chelsea really was the first one to kind of look at the work and say, hey guys, I really think we should rethink this. And we ended up scrapping this entire thing and taking a leap of faith. And we thought, that's kind of what that song is about. And we thought it would be a cool name for an album, so.
Okay, so let's go on to track number 5. I Know Nothing. I relate to this one because I also know nothing. This is a big track. Tell me a little bit about why I Know Nothing is track 5 and about the song.
This is one of the last songs that we recorded and wrote and recorded. And we wrote it about someone who was in a very bad relationship and who wouldn't listen to anything we were saying about this guy, he sucks. So we heard this song as our FU to
yeah.
But it's really funny because sometimes when you're in a toxic relationship, you don't really see it and you need the outsiders to say, okay, no more.
It's true.
Let's move on. So that was
I'm blushing over here.
Yeah.
I was about to say, so Max, how do you feel about the song?
No, I totally agree. These guys have always been so supportive, and I really do wish the best for this person. They were going through a lot, but I stuck it out way too long, and they're like, all right, it's time to kick this guy to the curb. So
yeah, we all were writing this, and Max did not get right off the bat that this was about.
I was like, this is.
Oh wait, you learned later that this was about.
This is about you.
I know. I'm like, we're like working on lyrics. I'm like what are we? Who are we talking about here?
Wait a minute.
We're talking about you. I'm like, oh fuck.
Okay, so track number 6, Once Upon a Time. This has to be my other favorite on the album right now. Okay, it's like Disney, Once Upon a Time. Those are up there. Tell me a little bit about this one.
So Once Upon a Time is, kind of about the tragic nature of being young and in love. We were just looking back at like some of our first relationships in like 5th and 6th grade, and how you just pour your heart into this person. You think that you're, so in love and that this is the one. And then you're like, wait, I'm not mature enough. I'm not old. And like, I don't have the experience to really take this relationship to the next level. So it's just kind of about your first relationships and how sentimental those are, but also kind of, there's a lot of love and happy thoughts around those first relationships, even though they were like way too
doomed to fail.
Doomed to fail. There you go.
So wait, Chelsea and Spencer, for both of you, what relationship advice would you give to maybe other creators that are working together, but they're also together?
Well, this is the first time you've gotten this.
This
question.
is the first time.
That's a good
actually.
one.
This is a good one.
This took a lot of, trial and error, I would say. But
yes,
I think
our first couple years of dating when we were like 19, 20 was such a disaster. I feel like.
Well, I think when we first started dating, we also started writing music together, and I think that sometimes we're very honest with each other, and it was difficult to separate the relationship from the work aspect of it, of writing. And I think over time, there's like a balance between, being affectionate while you're like recording vocals and stuff, but also being able to be honest in a producer.
There's definitely, we definitely tried just finding time for each other, but also focusing on, being, in a band together.
Also, when Chelsea initially, when we kind of like started really writing together, Spence and I had been kind of just writing with each other for so many years that we would be like flying through an idea and like agreeing on things like subconsciously.
And I'd be like, what
Chelsea would
just
be like,
happened?
what the hell's going on? So it took a while for us to learn how to like, you know, really kind of open up our songwriting to Chelsea, and she's brought such an amazing, just different approach to our songwriting. So
Well, that's nice. Thank you.
That's a perfect transition to track 7, Colorful. I loved this one because I love the line, who I was as a memory. And for me, what really hit me about that one is I feel like this past year, like I feel like a completely different person. Like the pandemic has brought out different qualities in me. I feel like I know myself better. I just feel like a lot has changed for me. So looking back to the start of this, I feel like that person is a memory for me. When you think about this past year for all of you, do you feel that same way? Like how have you changed? How has SHAED changed? What do you think is the main thing that jumps out at you?
I would definitely think that we have changed for sure for the better. We settled into our new homes, and we kind of like did a lot of self-care that we weren't able to do in previous years just because we were so busy and everything was so crazy. And I think that we definitely learned a lot about ourselves, especially with all the emotions that we were feeling and like dealing with the crazy anxiety and the depression and, confusion. Mm-hmm. I think that just seeing us kind of hit rock bottom in that regard, and I think that we've learned a lot from that for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad that's really cool that line stuck out to you. I mean, for me, the concept behind this song was kind of born out of an experience that we all kind of shared 10 years ago, which was when I came out to these two. They were the first 2 people I told, and as you can imagine, it was super freeing and a very they didn't know, they had no idea I was gay. I guess I hid it really well. So it was a super emotional experience, but it really kind of solidified the dynamic we have together and just brought us all so much closer together. Definitely. And moving on from that, who I was as a memory, very much, I really relate to that line that we wrote, because it's just, how it was such a, like waking up that next morning after telling these 2 was just, I felt like a totally different person.
I have full-blown chills. That's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, let's go on to track 8. Now, this is like another fan favorite, obviously, Trampoline with Zayn. We all know and love this collab. Now, can we expect any more collaborations with Zayn in the future?
We would love to do it again.
We would love to. I mean, I think their voices work so well together, and he did just an amazing job of, singing the melodies and tweaking them to like fit his vibe. So definitely wouldn't rule it out.
Who else is top of the list for collaborations?
We love Tame Impala, we love Radiohead, and we love SZA, we love Remy Wolf. I mean, like the list just goes. Anyone and everyone.
Her as well. I mean, I'd love to collaborate with like an R&B like singer.
Okay, so track number 9, No Other Way. This is another one that we know and love well. How did you land on this one to be one of the singles?
We had probably written 90% of the songs, I think, and we just thought this was like a good one to lead out with, just because this really, kind of summed up what we were feeling at the time, which was, we were really overwhelmed, but we were really just trying to remind ourselves that we're not dead. We're here, we're alive, let's live in the moment, let's focus on what we can control. We kind of wrote it as a reminder to ourselves that, there's one life to live, let's just do it.
Yeah, trying to spread some like positivity too at the time. Like it's like peak pandemic, and like we really wanted, to just bring some positivity and like remind people that there's still all these silver linings in this time. At least for us there were. I mean, I know every experience is unique, but for us, and hopefully for a lot of people, they were able to like use this time to improve themselves, and yeah, so.
And now, perfect segue to track 10. Wish we had longer. I had some good times. I wish they were longer. Again, we all know that sentiment. Who was the inspiration behind this song?
We had a friend that we used to tour with a lot, like in another band, and she had like transitioned pretty recently, and then she was a teacher, and just was dealing with a ton of stress over the pandemic, and really, really sad. She actually like took her life. So we we just really wrote this song to like honor her memory, like such a creative person. And yeah, so we wrote this song like about her and
wishing we had more good times.
Yeah, with everyone that we've lost, I mean, it's just...
Wow. What a beautiful tribute, though. Next up, we have track 11, Visible Woman. Chelsea, your voice is insane in this one.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
It's so good.
I love this song, I will say.
That's another one we were like tearing up when we were listening to her sing this in the studio.
Oh dear Lord.
It's so good. Well, yeah, Chelsea, what does being a visible woman mean to you? And what does the song mean to you?
A couple years ago, I saw an interview with Heidi Klum, and she talked about how she had dressed up as the visible woman for Halloween. You know how like every Halloween she does something crazy, it's hours and hours of work. So I was like, what is the visible woman? And then I looked it up, and it's that, you know, that little statue that you see in every science class. It's like the anatomical version of, you know, you have the visible man, so you just see all the tissue and the organs. And I was just like, what an interesting thing, because, you know, I feel like a visible woman on stage just because it's such a vulnerable position, you know, being a woman in the music industry specifically, just so difficult. So it's just kind of a song about, you know, me kind of finding my strength and really the confidence that I need, you know, because it is so hard to be, you know, on stage in front of everyone. It's just a difficult thing. And so I thought that Visible Woman was such a cool line.
So tracks 12, 6 in the morning. Now this one was a really sweet and emotional one. Tell me a bit about this one.
Yeah, definitely. So I get up really early, 6 in the morning. And this is just kind of about my moments of peace before the day begins. I tend to look out the kitchen window. I just have like alone time with my thoughts. And this is just kind of about what I think about at 6 in the morning.
I like the line, I've been waiting all of my life, but you have me now.
Basically, we wrote this song about our future child. Spencer and I, obviously, we all love family, and starting our own family is something very, very important to us. In February, we found out I was pregnant right after we wrote this song. And then I had a very unexpected miscarriage in March that was like 13 weeks. I was very unprepared for it. It was very sad. But this song is kind of the couple of months of pure joy and happiness. Just, it's a very hopeful song for us, and we are, you know, hopeful for the future. But this is my 6 in the morning Zen moments. Song for the future. Yes.
Baby, you'd say.
Future babe.
Yeah.
Future.
Well, let me first say thank you for sharing that with us. That's honestly so vulnerable and so sweet. Honestly, I didn't mean to pick that line, but I'm so glad that you shared that with us.
Music is very interesting, and it helps us through a lot, and it can be very useful in many ways. So I'm thankful that we have a song that is, you know, really special to us. I mean, all of these are, but this one especially. So yeah.
So we have one more on the track list. Track 13, High Dive with Louis Del Mar. Now, obviously, this is so cool. Tell me a little bit about how this collab came about, and then you got to tell me about the video, because the video is sick.
We actually used to work with Louis Del Mar, which is crazy. Like,
no way.
So we were teaching guitar lessons around here, like in Maryland, and he was also a guitar teacher, and
we taught at
the same school. So it was like an all boys school, and we were teaching lessons with him like a couple of times out of the week. And we became friends. It was pretty brief before he moved to New York and started releasing like incredible music. So Max and I were like still teaching, watching him like shit.
We're like, oh my god, we're like another Louis Del Mar track crushing. We're like,
so good.
We're super stoked for him. But anyways, now we had this song, and we really wanted to feature like a cool artist that, you know, just had like a good voice, and we love his voice and his like approach to singing and songwriting. So, you know, we had the song finished, but we were like, dude, just whatever you are feeling on the song, like throw out some different melodies. And he came back with some really great new like hooks in the choruses and different melody changes. So yeah,
that's it. I mean, yeah, he's so talented, so fun to work with.
What a wonderful person.
Wonderful guy.
You love to hear it.
So Christina Shing, she was the director, and her idea behind it was that we were, you know, accident chasing infomercial lawyers from the 80s. So she threw that idea at us and was like, I want all of y'all wearing like these 80s suits.
We're like, yes,
And we were just-
please.
So fire. SHAED, this has been so great. Thank you so much for being here, for doing track by track.
Really appreciate it.
What else can we look forward to from you guys?
I would say hopefully we can be back on the road soon and be playing shows, you know, because we're really missing that, I will say.
We're launching a campaign called the Colorful Campaign that we're featuring local and like international artists. We've already got Kat Cunning on board and this up and coming star, Rich Music. He's got an incredible voice. But we're releasing a bunch of remixes for the song, and all the money's going to go to this amazing organization in DC called Capital Pride. And so we're really excited about that. That's going to all start to be launched on June 11th.
Oh my God, that's incredible. That's so exciting. SHAED, thank you so much again for being here with us. I always love seeing y'all. Thanks so much for watching our track by track with SHAED on their new album, High Dive. Make sure you stream all their music on iHeartRadio, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.